Okay, so the agenda for the today's topic is the Scot configuration, like email configuration, Scot configuration. So some customers, some users, they require the emails from the SAP as soon as their batch job completed, as soon as their payment completed, as soon as everything is completed. So they need that email to their email. They need email to their mailboxes, right? So instead of directly coming to the SAP, checking and downloading the prints, PDFs, payments, statements, everything. So if they have the email configured, so then they can get the emails to their mailbox from the SAP. In this case, so what we have to do, from this email configuration, the mailbox configuration. The first step, the step number one, to perform the email configuration. So we have the SMTP, like the ports, SMTP port should be active. SMTP port should be active. For this one, we need to change the one profile parameter, or in SMICM, so we can change the, we can set the port. So there are the two ways. One is we can change the profile in RJ10 or RJ10, RJ10 or RJ11. So or in SMICM we can set the port. There is a one, first of all, the port should be active in SMTP. So the port, the SMTP, the port should be active in the system. The port should be active in the system. So that once the port is active, then we can activate the node. So suppose if you see here, maybe let me go to the SAP here. So we have one more system, S4 HANA is starting now, is building now. Okay, you can use this one also, new concept, new S4 HANA system. So just for your information, see here in the Linux level, S4 HANA is getting installed. It's almost started instance, almost all the work is completed. Last few, so post activities are there, that will be installing now. Okay, you can use it, maybe after some time you can use it, you will get the good experience on the S4 HANA. So right, you can see the S4 HANA is getting installed, you will get the good experience. So it's a very popular experience nowadays, everyone. So they are asking the S4 HANA, have you worked on the S4 HANA? It's not like the ECC only, to get your experience on the S4 HANA systems as well. So I am doing this installation since last night. Maybe I have another activity since last night, but I am parallelly doing this activity and the other activities as well. Okay, so for your reference, just I'm giving this one. So you can use, can practice it, same as you can practice, you will get the experience. Okay, so this is the secondary. Now let's log into the one of our system, in our network system or ECC system. You can log in here, then the same, you can go to the, so you can go to the SMICM. SMICM is the one of the transaction code where we can see the services, the ports and services we can active or not. Here we can see in the SMICM transaction code. In SMICM we can see here SMICM. So here you can see the SMTP port is 0. Normally all the ports should be active here. So but now especially we are discussing about the ports. Ports means services, service name or ports the same. So the ports, so HTTP means the sites which we are logging, right, through HTTP, the sites we are logging through HTTP google.com, right? So those are the things, actually the service should be active. Otherwise what happens, you won't get that screens. You will get the internal server record, 503 server record, something like that. So it won't initiate it, that one. So that's the reason. So the ports are deactive. As a first step, we need to activate the SMTP. We need to activate it. Means the ports number we have to decide port number. Normally, so 25 or 25, we can make it. Like normally all person they will make it as the 25. So normally, okay, all persons they will make it as the 25. or 25,000. 0 cannot be started. Okay, can create that one. So it's a 25 port number. So, but the settings are dynamic settings. The settings are dynamic settings. So which means whenever the restart happens, so the settings will go away. Why? Because temporarily we set in the RJs in the SMICM. But if you want to set permanently, you have to go to the RJ transaction code, go to the profile parameter, go to the parameters, extended maintenance, go to the change button. So it is not matching. Something like not matching. We can import the off active server. Someone changed the voice level, they have not imported into the SAP level. That's why still showing different version. Go to the here, go to the here. So you can change the profile parameter. If you don't know the profile parameter, the parameter name, then you can search it out from here. They can search from here. There's a ICM star. It starts with the ICM. So ICM underscore server underscore 0, there is a port number. We have to configure it in the SAP level. We have to configure it. The value, the SMTP port, we have to configure it in from here. We have to configure that one. So right. So this is the ports actually. The ports configuration, everything we have to perform from the SMICM. SMICM is the one of the transaction code where we can activate the ports and everything. So the ports are very important. If any external users or if anyone wants to connect to the our server through HTTP or HTTPS, you need to enable the ports, right? HTTP, HTTPS ports, we have to enable it. Along with the email configuration which we are discussing, so the ports, SMTP port should be active here. SMTP port should be active here. That should be active here. So for this one, so what we have to discuss, what we have to configure here. There is a port number starts with the always like ICM slash server underscore so port underscore 2 or 1. We can, so nothing is configured now. Now we can configure the 1. We can configure the 1. So then if you type it, so nothing is there here. So then we can configure the port number is here. So 25, right? Port number is 25, which we configured here. Just click on the copy button. So then go back. So copy, go back, save, and enable it. Again, activate it. So this is the profile parameter changes which we already discussed, right? This is the way we need to change the profile parameter. At the same time, so there is no HTTP, HTTPS parameters as well. We can also configure the HTTP and HTTPS parameters. So now we have the ports we have already configured. You can see the 25 port number already configured. Then what next? To perform this configuration, the port is configured. Then the step number 2, so ports we already configured. In the profile parameters, we have changed it. In SMICM also, we have configured it. Then the next step, so activate the node. The next step is the configure and activate the node in SMTP. In SMTP node, SMTP, that is called the SMTP node. We will call the SMTP node in Scot transaction code. The Scot transaction code, we will use it for the to activation of the node, the Scot transaction code. So if you go to the Scot transaction, SCOT, Scot, here you can see the all the configuration we have to perform it. Here SMTP node we have to configure it. Nothing is there here. So nothing is there here. Node, there is no node here. So in this case, we need to configure the node here. We need to configure the node here. We need to create the node. We need to create the node here. We have to create the node here. So node means SMTP node. We have to create it here. SMTP. So node we have to create it here. Then SMTP description. So maybe we can create like email configuration. The node should be active. SMTP node should be active here. Same as like how we have. So nodes are active. So we have to activate it here. Hours. So there is a how many hours like you should send the email configurations. Okay, every 5 minutes my one job will trigger, then the job will send the emails to the users. So here mail host, SMTP mail host, every organization there is a mailbox server. So here we have to provide the mailbox server name. Suppose like we'll take like gmail.smtp. Just for example, I'm giving here. Then, so what is the port number? We have the 25 is the port number. So then you can set the 25 port number here. So then, so what type of address types you have to send? Fax, or you want to send the mail faxes as well? Then you can put like star, which means it will send the everything to the fax. You want to send the internal email address. Address means so all the email addresses. You want to send the emails to the all the email address. Then you can put the star here. Then click on the save button. Then the node is activated here. The node is activated here. The node is activated. So we are sending the emails to the fax, and so pager SMS also we can internet. So if this is correctly configured, if this is this is there, this is the mailbox server host, mailbox server host. These are the mail server host. If these are the correctly configured, then we won't face any issues actually. So normally emails, we will get the emails here. This is the way we have to enable the node. We have to enable the node. Suppose now I don't want to send the emails to, the all the persons. Suppose I don't want to send the emails to the all the persons, then you can go to the here. So which one you want to send? Suppose like I want any user, but it's sent to the, suppose like gmail.com. Only the email sent to the persons who are having gmail.com, only those persons will get the emails from the SAP. So you don't want to send to the some other persons as well. You want to send to the all, means everyone should get the email. You want to restrict it, not the everyone, only Gmails, only Google Mail, only mycompany.com. Then we can restrict it here by changing the, here we can restrict it here. We can do the restriction here. We can do the restriction here, right? Then we can configure the domain also. What is the domain? Our company domain. Suppose like star dot my training.com. Suppose like our training, right? Maybe our company is the training.com. So maybe you can set the this domain. So domain also you set it out. System also you set the domain. You set the default domain. So and also you created the node you created. Then we can create the jobs as well. Jobs also we can create the same job. So the job means what the job will do. Whenever the emails are generating in the SAP system, so this SAP, there is a job name, SAP connect job. Select all the job types. This SAP connect job, what this will do, every 10 minutes or every 5 minutes, whatever the schedule you select it, maybe we will put like every 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, so it will start sending the email to the, the respective persons. Whoever the emails are there, it will start sending the persons. Immediately we schedule the job now. So job we scheduled it. So see here, the job is active now. Currently it is active. So without this job, you cannot send to the emails will be generated, but it will stuck in the SAP system only. It will stuck in the SAP system only. But who will send the job? Who will send the emails? Here, this job, SAP Connect job, will send the emails to the your respective senders, respective receivers. It will send the emails. So then, so we have configured it here. Now all users, whenever we create the users in any organization, normally we will maintain the email ID, right? We will maintain the email ID for that one. Why? Because how the system knows to, what system will send the emails to this user. This user is mapped to the, so this email address, right? Suppose like SAP basis dot training, something like that. I put it out here, maybe 10@gmail.com, something like that. I configure the email address here. I configure the just sample email address for this user. This user is having the email address, this user. So any other users, so they have the different original email IDs. For our case basis, I set this is the email address, I set it here. Why? Because you configure the email address, then address area, everything you have configured, you have done the configuration. Then the step number 3, you have to configure and activate the node in the SMTP. Then activate the SAP connect service in SICF transaction code. So if you go to the SICF transaction code here, so SICF normally SICF is transaction code is for the activation of the services. Services means any service if you want to activate, you can go to the SICF, so you can activate it. Suppose here, if I talk about the SICF and SMICM, so SMICM transaction codes, SICF is for the activation of the services in SAP, services, sub-services in SAP. Sub-services means, suppose when you go to the any organization, any company, suppose if I open the irctc.com is the main. Under that, the sub-service is the NZ. Under that, we have the sub-service is the train sets. This is sub-services. These all are the services. This is the main service under the sub-services. So if I go to the buses, immediately it will go to the another home, and there is a home page. There is a home service. If I go to the any, suppose anything, immediately it will go to the, again there is sub-service. It is switching over. It is switching over, which means these are the services actually. So if really the IRCTC is using the SAP, IRCTC using the SAP, IRCTC using the SAP, in that case, they have to go to their SAP system, they have to go to the here, then they need to activate the services here. Suppose train underscore set. If the service is there, then we can open the service name and we can activate it. If the service is down, we cannot so access. Sometimes when you open the any URLs in the system, sometimes when if you open the any URLs in the system, so that time sometimes we may get the 500 internal server URL, something like, right? Suppose if I open the any system, suppose like if I open the, so suppose if I open the, not here, suppose if I open the Google or some other sites, if I open the Google or some other site, sub-service under the domain, you may get the sub-services, right? Sometimes when you go to the one functionality, that functionality it won't work due to some issues. So in that case, they have to go to the inside of their SAP systems and they have to check whether the service is active or not. So through ICM will handle the services, but internal server, so the service should be active. See here, the service is not active here. That's why it's in the gray disabled status here. So right click here, then activate it here. Right click and activate it here. So not only the service here, not only activation of the SAP Connect. Now we are discussing about the SAP Connect. So suppose if anything they want to connect it in the system, in the services, so they need services should be active in SAP system. One transaction code for the activation and deactivation of the services is called the SICF transaction code. How they can connect it through SMICM? They can open their URL. SMICM is the ICM communication manager. ICM communication manager. So this ICM service will handle the web-based request. Will ICM services will handle all the web-based requests. It will handle it. All the browser requests it will handle it. Depends upon the service. The service active, they can open it. It's not active, they may get the 500 internal server error. The service is not available, cannot be reached, something like that. You will get it out. So why we are getting this type of error means that service is not active in SAP. The service is not active in SAP. That's the reason. So maybe we have to come to the here, then we have to activate it. So it's already activated. See here, the service is already active. Suppose nowadays, we all are using the browser. That's not in the login pad we are using to log into the MMC. So log into the SAP system. Not only that one, if you use this functionality, the service, this WebGUI service, so then you can also open the SAP login, SAP GUI screen in the browser itself. You don't need to log into the always like in the login pad and open the SAP. So for this one, the first ports, the services should be active here. Okay, so let's wind it that one. Let's park the topic now. Why we are discussing about the spool, the printer, the Scot configuration. right? So let's park that one. We'll discuss that one. So as part of this outbound email configuration, first we need to the port SMTP port should be active in the SMICM, or we need to configure it. Then activate the service, configure and activate it. We have configured and activated. Then activate the SMTP service in SICF. In SICF, so you have activated the service. You have done that one. Okay, so you have activated it here. So now go to, now we can test it. So these are the three activities we have to perform it. So how to test it then? How to test the whether my emails are going or not? How to test it? So in this one, go to the SBWP. Every user they have the SAP business business workplace. There is an option. Every option from here you have the email box to receive the emails from outside. Outbound box, you can also send the emails as well. Suppose I want to send the emails from SAP to some other user. Suppose text email to whom? Hi. Suppose like my document, some PDF, some attachment I want to attach it. So some attachment I want to attach to that person, some payment, some pay slips I want to attach to that person. So that I have attached the, I am attaching that payment also, I am attaching here, attachment also I have done it, I have attached. I want to send this payment to that person. Simple example. So who is that user? Who is that user? Recipients. Who is that user? So internal user or external email address. Who is that user? Suppose I want to send to the basis user. I have already configured the email address. I want to send it to the basis user, right? So that is the basis user is the, so SAP logon name. SAP logon name. You want to send the copy to send express, send copy as a copy to your email as well. Yes, I sent it. Then click on the send button, right? So that email is gone now. That email is gone now. That email is went. So but how can I know? I send the email. How can I know whether that email is processed or not? How can I know that one? How can I know? So how can I know? The express document text received from the basis. See here, I logged into the basis user through my email ID. I sent it, but I express document I received from the author basis. I got the information. I received the document like that. I received the document from the SAP. So some SAP, my user to my user, I sent the document. See here in my inbox. I received the document. See here in express document. So I received the email. If I open it, there is an attachment. Attached. What is this attachment? So there is some license I attached. So that license I received it. See here, I received the email from one person to another person. I received the email actually. And the unread is done. So normally this is the way we have to send the emails to the recipient. See here, I received it here. So basis user I sent it. So how I received it here? So how can I check here? So it's my user, I received it, but how can I know? How the sender knows? Which means if you go to the SOST is the transaction code. SOST is the transaction code to check the, to monitor the, to check or so monitor the, emails, outgoing emails, to monitor the outgoing emails, you can monitor it. So SOST is the transaction code. SOST is the transaction code. You can monitor it here. So just to transmit it, then you will see the emails here. Here I is not receiving. If anything stuck, it will be displayed here. Normally it should come, but for our case, it's not receiving. Oh, it's not showing here. Maybe I need to send to the external different person, I guess. Okay. Normally it should receive to the here. Okay. So this is the way all the emails will be. So now again, if we go to the SNAP business workspace, instead of my user, I will send the message to the maybe different user, a text to. Normally empty messages also I can send it here. So maybe I can send it to the, suppose like maybe who are there, maybe some other persons are there. I will send this no user selected here. So it's not there. Who are there? Maybe Usha, I think you have, right? Email. Yes, Usha having the email. So then this is the internal, this is the SAP logon name. So maybe if you want to select, you can select this one, otherwise not required. They can put empty text, then they can send it. So does not exist. See, SAP user does not exist, which means we have not set any mail ID to this person. We have not set any email ID to this person. So that is the reason we have not set any email ID to here. So that's the reason the emails are going. Maybe we can set like text it, so something like we can email.com, we can set it out here just for example purpose to test that functionality. Okay, now test it. SAP user. Oh, what is the username? Internal user. Oh, you have this one, right? Okay. Okay, we have the Chandra is there, right? We'll select Chandra. Okay, I selected the Chandrasekhar here, but for Chandra, we need to maintain the email ID. So let's see. So is the internet address. Shekhar is not valid email address. We don't have the email address now. So that's why every organization, the mandatory thing is when we are configuring, so we have to Chandra, CHANDRA, Chandu, right? Chandra.
CS Reddy. We'll try one. CS Reddy.
CS. Okay. Okay, the CS Reddy. And we will configure like text.gmail.com. Just dummy email address I'm configuring. CS Reddy. Username is CS Reddy. Is it correct? No.
Yes.
Nothing. Is a different user. CS Reddy, I guess.
Yeah.
Not valid email address. Something wrong here. Something wrongly we are doing while assigning the email address. CS Reddy is there. Chandrasekhar. And there is a one more user, I guess. Chandrasekhar. And let me fill that one, alias name. CS Reddy. Oh, many are there here. So that's why. So many are there here. We are unable to assign. Maybe we'll use the basis 3 here, single row. Basis one person. Example at the rate of gmail.com. Save it. Done. Okay. So then we'll go to the here, remove it here, minus symbol. Then go to basis 3 user. It's done. So is the SAP logon name. Then so you can send it. SAP user basis. Is the basis right? Basis 3. Yes, it went to the basis. So normally now basis, we log in with the basis, then we will come to know whether that is transferred or not. We will come to know here. We will come to know that persons. Okay, it's SAP to SAP. So that's SAP to SAP. Okay, that's why we are not receiving to the here. That is the SAP to SAP. We are getting to the here. So now I got it. So here only external, not SAP, other external users or other email address we will receive to here. That's why in SOST we will monitor here. Now if I log into the basis user, we may get it out here. So now instead of SAP login user, I can send the email to the the particular user. I will send it here. Instead of this one, just maybe SAP basis dot So hana@gmail.com, something like that. I'm sending here, right? Internet address. Then you can send the address here. Then I sent it here. Okay, I sent the emails to them. So let's see. So whether this is a business workplace to send the your emails and appointment calendars to the everyone in SAP level. Also, we can use this one email box, mailbox, calendar, and everything. We can use it, right? Same as like, so we can monitor whether the mails are going or not, outgoing emails are going or not. We can check in the, so in the, so here we can check it out. Here we can check it in the, so SOST, we can check it out. So see here, this is waiting for the job to be picked, job to be picked. So there is a job actually in SM37. There is a SAP Connect job. SAP, the Connect job. If this job will send the emails actually. This job should run and will send the emails. So now 9:47, it is executed in the next 10 minutes, right? 5 minutes we set it out. Maybe in the next 5 minutes means 52. Or if you don't want to wait now, you can just to repeat the scheduling immediately. Then that will run immediately. That will run now. So it will run now. So, but as soon as the job is started, it's saying that the document cannot be sent to the author. It cannot be sent. So we'll see the error message here, SOST. So if you go to the SOST, the emails got failed here. The email box is failed here because of routing error. We don't have, so here all the settings are correct. If you go to Scot, the main configuration is the Scot. Here all are correct. This is we enabled correct. This is we enabled correct, but this is wrong. We are given the dummy. Why? Because we need real host name, real mailbox server name here. Remember that we will get it from the organization or your IT team, your company. So that if you have the correctly configured, definitely the person will get the emails. That is not correctly set here. That's why, so it's not the correct one. That's why you are not getting the emails from the SAP. If it's correctly set, you have the correct email ID configured, then definitely you will receive the emails. Definitely you will receive the emails to the here. So you are not correctly configured this one. That's why all the emails are failing here. All the emails are failing in the system. See here, all the mails are failing here in the system. It's failing here, routing error. So cannot process the no node defined. So it's not processing here. So it's not processing. So why? Because this is not the correct address, and also that is not the correct address. That is not the correct SMTP server. Suppose sometime after the issue fixed, you want to resend, you can resend it. If you want to set wait time, if you want to send it again, you can resend it again, not a problem. But multiple times you can send, but it may fail it because of this recipient does not exist. The mailbox server does not exist. That's why this all are failing. So where can we monitor the all the outgoing emails? Means SOST is the transaction code. Here we can monitor the all the things here. All the things we can monitor in the SOST. So Scot is the configuration. Scot is the here SMTP configuration we can perform in the Scot here in the Scot. Here we need to enable the node, SMTP node. We have to enable it. Then so it's time interval. You need to set it out here. Mailbox server name. What are the internet email address you should send it? That all the configuration, everything we have to perform it here. Then the jobs also you need to send, and what time the job should run. So all these things you need to schedule it. Then the port should be active in the SMICM. Here in the services, go to services. Here the port should be active. Then only you will receive the mails from the SAP. Otherwise, you won't receive the emails from the SAP. So this is the configuration of the Scot and SACF Scot SMTP node configuration. This is a small topic actually. So these two transactions will be used. So in any case in your organization, automatically the Scot will be performed automatically. No, will be by your seniors or supervisors. So, but sometimes users may complain saying that, so I'm not receiving the emails from the SAP. Could you please check? They are not receiving the emails from SAP. Could you please check? In that case, you have to go to the SOST transaction code. You need to check why the mails are failing. So what is the, so if the mails are failing means the possible reasons will be maybe the port should be inactive, or node should be inactive, or service should be inactive. There is no much such configuration in the Scot. either three, one of the reason can cause the your emails are not going to the your respective users from SAP. So we need to check this way. These three are could be the reasons, possible reasons. Okay, so this is about the outgoing email configuration. So any questions from anyone? Let me log into the S4H meanwhile. So let's see our S4HANA system. So how it will be. So because